How about sex itself? It used to be men had to court women to have sex. Now they just go, well, why buy the cow when I'm getting the milk for free? And you can have slut walks, and women are fuck buddies, and sex is cool, and there's no ramifications. In fact, I read recently an article where this young girl was saying it sucks because sometimes you catch feelings during these hookups. Yeah, that sucks. Love sucks. Having to court a woman and then provide for her for the rest of her life is lame. You should just keep having sex with women, using them as a colostomy bag for your semen for their entire lives. Slut walk her way well into her 40s where she can have a lonely life with her dog. Now, how about gender? Okay? Women are the same as men. That giving birth thing, that's boring. That's lame. Don't even pay attention to that. Women have careers. They drive race cars and they kick butts in movies. They're total badasses. They rock out on guitars. And you know what? Their vaginas don't even make them women. A guy could just go, I'm a chick, and put on a wig. I don't even know if he needs a wig. He doesn't even need to have fake tits put in. As soon as a guy says that he's a chick, he's a chick. That's how easy it is to be a woman. That's how nothing it is to be a woman. In fact, did you know the term sausage fest is sexist? It's transist. Because just saying a room is full of people with penises doesn't mean they're all men. Could be a room of women with penises. If you answered sexist to all of the above scenarios, you are a feminist. Although you're not allowed to say that word anymore because that word has now morphed into a group that says being unhealthy is unhealthy. Being a feminist today, it's so complicated. I wish Chris Hayes was here to translate it. Being a feminist today means you trivialize rape. You say it's not unhealthy to be unhealthy. You say that you don't believe love exists, and you don't think sex has consequences. In other words, to be a feminist today, you don't attach value to what it means to be a woman. 2017 resolutions for white guys.
Try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Stop.
Can we all just agree?
Stop! I would like you to know what America was like for a white guy. First of all, we didn't steal the land from the Indians. We fought them for 400 years. Did a lot of bad shit, but had a lot of bad shit done to us. That was just to establish it. Then we had to have a revolution to get the British out. Then we had to have a civil war to end slavery. You know how many people died in that? 620,000 white guys died ending slavery. And then we had World War I for 100,000 guys. We had World War II, 400,000 guys. What are we at now? 1 million? I'm not including the tens of millions in Vietnam and Korea. All those white guys were drafted. They didn't voluntarily march off to fight Nazis. We fought on your behalf. Now you're in this resplendent oasis of freedom, and your first note is, you could be better, be butter.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Oh my God, could you be less self-aware, please? She's womansplaining to me what mansplaining is. And by the way, we don't mansplain. We have sort of an interrogative tone sometimes. Yes, we get a little frustrated when you call us idiots, but that's because you're womansplaining, or transplaining, or blacksplaining, or gaysplaining. Look at your mannerisms. You have this like, we're gonna do this just one more time. It's called a little thing called equality. You might want to try it. Fuck you and your splaining! Yeah, because she blasphemed Beyonce. Beyonce, I have a feeling, is a complete idiot. She's a good dancer who dances around to some silly songs. Nice queen. Nice heroes, you losers.
Look, guys, we know nobody's perfect.
But honestly, you could do a
Wait a
little
minute,
better
stop
in
it.
2016.
I just want to say something that confused me about this. Why do women get to be a minority? They're the majority. They live longer than anyone. And black women live longer than white men. And white men are a minority. And we lost millions of guys to wars fighting to keep you free. You're using all our inventions now. And don't talk to me about slavery. The balance sheet was zero after the Civil War. You're sitting there on our technology and our inventions and all our hard work. And you're saying you suck. Look, I never really thought of myself as a white guy until I was told that I suck. Then I went over to Google. I looked it up and I went, oh, these guys are kind of awesome. Yeah, I have something to say. This is my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start accepting that I created the modern world. And I'm also going to say to people like you, you're welcome, you fucking ingrate. What I think a lot of women and maybe, new immigrants don't get about this culture is when you are making these inappropriate jokes, it's not predatorial. It's a form of camaraderie. What you're doing is saying, welcome to the club. Welcome to our world. And let's face it, work is boring. Most of the time it's monotonous. So at my new job, that's all men and has no HR, just like Sun News, I will occasionally slide my chair over to a coworker and say, you definitely don't want to see my balls, right? Or not even remotely interested, right? And he'll say, no. I go, okay, just asking. And then slide my chair back. A little brief moment of levity in a world gone dull. At Sun News, I could do stuff like, one of my favorite jokes was you undo your pants, and then you're talking to someone about something, and you go, yeah, are we going to be, oh my God, Jesus Christ, my belt, I'm really sorry about that. Now, if your underwear says, don't follow me, I just farted a big one, that's good for even bigger laughs. Now, hardy har har, we're all amused. There's a smile here. Endorphins are released. Testosterone gets back into work, or estrogen as the case may be, and you get back to work. Now, I was there, fortunate enough to be there, when jihadist Martin Couture-Rouleau assassinated warrant officer Patrice Vincent with his car. And I was there when another jihadist, Michael Zehaf Bibo, assassinated Corporal Nathan Cirillo at Canada's National War Memorial a few days later. That was a serious time at Sun News. And guess how many racist, sexist, and ass-pinching jokes there was during then? 0. Everyone was focused. It was like a tornado of concentration. And we were getting data and facts. I mean, I wasn't. I was just watching as these amazing researchers tore through all the superfluous data. And by the time the police and the authorities told us what was going on, it was all ancient news to us. So this is what happens without an HR department, without politically correct nannies, helicopter parenting around us, and making sure we work appropriately. When it's time to get serious, we get serious. When it's time to have fun, we joke around. That's the way things used to be, and that's the way they ought to be.
By the way, when he was doing those tests, he noticed that every snob hated mainstream normal factory beers like Budweiser. Now, that doesn't mean if you hate those beers and you like craft beer, you're a snob, but all snobs never go near that beer. It's like all Muslims aren't terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. That new guy we have, what's his name, Kellogg? I wonder if he's related to the guy who invented circumcision. That's right, Kellogg's cornflakes. Dr. Kellogg is the guy who told Americans to genitally mutilate themselves. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Number 4, is there white genocide in South Africa? This is a fun one to see who's racist against whites. And if they poo-poo it, then they have no idea what the hell's going on there, the horrors that are going on there right now. And number 2, why don't you care about that? Oh, I know why, because you don't like white people. And the majority, I would say the majority of the earth hates white people, especially white people. And the fact that they can watch Christians being slaughtered in northern Iraq and crucified all over Egypt is downright disgusting. Some of the worst racists I've ever met, actually probably the only bona fide racist I've ever met, is whites in regard to whites. We need more families. That's the crux of the problem with the Western world right now. And it's a problem across the board. It's especially bad with blacks and Hispanics having kids out of wedlock. And there's a lot of culpability to go around there, but the fact that we reward women for dumping their man and getting a welfare check, we incentivize shattered black families, is a huge part of it, and it leads to crime and all kinds of other social problems. I mean, idle hands are just as dangerous as nuclear weapons in many ways as far as culture goes. I saw this sign at a school. People send me crazy shit that goes on at their schools and colleges, and it said more trans families. And I just thought, you could never say more white families. And then I thought, let's just erase trans and white. More families. That's what we need. And if you have a problem with that because of the races involved, then you are a dumb asshole who doesn't care about the Western world. And I know, by the way, you're never going to have kids of your own. So you're not contributing. I don't want you being able to vote. You can't contribute. You can't be part of the society you're criticizing if you're not contributing to that society. And the way we get people to assimilate and contribute is by encouraging families. Make babies, Westerners, and stay married. Number 4, astrology. This is what you do when someone says, when were you born? July. Oh, Leo, right? You just go. There's no improving someone who believes in astrology. There's no working with it. They're just dead. As soon as they say that, they're dead. I don't care if you're a Nazi. I don't care if you're retarded. Everything I can work with, but astrology, no. Number 7, no technology allowed, no phones. God, I see these guys, when one guy goes to the bathroom, the other guy goes, oh, good, I finally get to check my fucking Twitter. Keep your phone in your pocket. Even If you go, what's that place at the bottom of Africa where whites are being murdered? And you want to pull it out and pull up your maps, the reception sucks in this bar. It's going to slow down everything. It kills the conversation. Don't look it up. And this is especially true with old guys. Hey, dads, you can never remember anything. My dad will be having a conversation. He'll go, who was that guy? He was an actor. He was James Bond. His name was Sean. It was Shin. And I'm like, just make up a name and keep moving along with the story, please. You want to keep everything moving. It's like Little League Baseball. I always say to the kids, just swing. Stop being a snob and letting all these strikes go past you because they weren't in your wheelhouse. Just keep it going, kids. Swing, talk, and phones kill conversation. Number 9 is it's not about you. So you may talk about yourself a little bit, but there's this tendency, especially in America, where someone will say, there was a crazy thunderstorm yesterday, and they'll go, yeah, the worst thunderstorm I was ever in was in Thailand. We're on vacation. And everything goes, well, how does that reflect me? What's my contribution? Me. And that's not fun for other people. They're not interviewing you. You're not Madonna. They don't care about your personal life. We should be talking about things external to all of us and learning from it. And that brings me to number 10, which is the most important one. You should come to a conclusion. So say you come up with some dumb theory like, I bet you little brothers are better fighters generally than big brothers because they always got beat up by their big brothers. I bet if you researched it, then you'd discover like the top MMA guys all had big brothers. And this is just a hunch. I just made that up right now. And then the other guy contributes and he goes, yeah, I remember there was a Muhammad Ali had 2 older brothers. I don't know if that's true. And that goes around and around. And then you come to a conclusion. I think you're right, Gav. Or I think you're wrong, Gav. It's the reason people end up being good fighters is they come from a dangerous area and they grow up fighting. It's nothing to do with siblings. There, we have a conclusion. So it's like we did this little research team and we come up to something. That's how it goes. You do your little 2 minutes, you come up with a dumb conclusion, and now you're smarter for it. That's what a conversation is. It's just a fun game, and it's not about you, and it's not about your fucking mom. And then I've noticed now with these college kids, they sort of dress like 12-year-old wiggers. They'll have a big hat on, that's sort of over their ears, and they have their diminutive little woman head still, and then they'll have their low-slung jeans and stuff with a chain wallet, and, yo, what's up? I'm a boy now. Whoa. That's not how we act either. So now that you're becoming a man, I would like to tell you, as a man, the kind of stuff that we do, the kind of stuff we like, so you can further enjoy your life as a man. Number 1. I'm going to do 10, so I'll try to make it quick. We think farts are interesting. Women don't like farts. They smell like poo-poo to them. But if we're sitting next to a guy and there's no ladies around, there's a toxic fart, you don't go, oh my God, and run out crying. You go, whoa, dude, you're sick or something. What's going on there? And then you'll have an interesting discussion about it. And if you were to cup your fart in your hand and then deliver it into a guy's face, he would maybe go, oh my God, dude. So you should get used to that and get over your phobia of farts. Here's a man thing that we'll do. We'll make spaghetti for dinner. We'll eat it out of the pot, fall asleep drunk in front of the TV, then wake up 8 hours later, flip over the spaghetti so it looks like a whale's belly. It's kind of blanched. And then we'll have a few nibbles of that and go on with our day. Are you prepared for that? Because that's what we do. You have to fight as a man, and it sucks. It's never because someone slapped your mom. So you never have that Braveheart, yeah, I'm genuinely mad fighting thing. It's never that. It's always you spilled a girl's water, and then she told her boyfriend that you grabbed her ass, and you didn't, and now he wants to fight you, and you have to fight him. Or some guy is harassing some chick and no one else is your size in the restaurant, and I'm diminutive. And you have to go over and go, dude, you need to leave her alone. You need to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. And now you're in a fight that you feel nothing for. You don't like this guy or this girl, but you have to get in there. That's why you should never wear flip-flops as a man, because you're essentially on the national reserves. You're ready to be drafted at any time. And the fight is never a cool, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's always just like a, and then, it's horrible. But you got to do it. Now that you're a dude, we need you on our team. You're in the reserves. We're actually sweeties. Yeah, I know we're rapists, but we're also the guys that arrest rapists. I know we started slavery, but we ended it too. You can have a glass half full, half empty thing, but I've known men for a long time, and we're actually a lot cuter and nicer than you'd think we are. We just want everyone to get along. We're easily annoyed by loud noises and people going meh, 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 meh. That's why the divorce thing works out so well in women's favor. And it applies to pretty much everything. We just want you to calm down and sit down, and we don't want to fight. We already got in a fight about a glass of water about 30 seconds ago. So we just want things to be good. And I was talking to porn star Mercedes Carrera recently on my show, and she told me about a thing that I thought was very telling. She said that male porn stars will sneak in loving intercourse in between shots. So when you see they're like, yeah, you like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, when the cameras are off, he's like, can we snuggle? And they'll like, and have love-making missionary position over on the side and hope they don't get caught because they're not in character. So now that you're a man, you should get ready for a lot of gross stuff, a lot of technical stuff, and a lot of nice stuff, because that's basically what being a man is. And that brings me back to this video and what I'd like to call, bad word alert, bad word coming, the shit chests. What? What are you saying? They have terrible breasts? Or are you saying they're like a container full of feces? No. Remember Iron Man? He's got that glowing thing in his chest. These feminists, these women act like someone removed that glowing ball, that disc, and then just replaced it with shit. I sound like a lunatic right now. I'm talking about a weird robot with feces in her chest, shooting sparks and trying to destroy the world. What are you talking about, Gavin? And that is why I would like to cut now to a video of Chelsea Handler perfectly personifying this phenomenon. We got that?
Oh, don't mind me. I was just having a little snack. See, I was craving Thai food, so I ordered...
Can you stop it? She's craving Thai food, so she ordered Thai food. What is that, 14 servings? How ironic that this childless old spinster is ordering for a family of 8. How sad is that? How much rice do you need? Leftovers much? I think one little... Anyway, so this is her ordering Thai food. Continue, Chelsea.
Pretty crazy, right? I can do that sort of thing because I'm not married. I didn't have to politely ask my husband, what do you want to eat tonight,
pause,
honey?
pause. Did you catch that? You know that you're desperate for straw men when you have to go to the Middle East to find... This is not Sharia law, lady. We don't say, no, you will not order Thai food. You will make me a meal tonight. We don't do that. You know what married men do when you say, I want to order Thai food? We go, okay. Can I get spicy beef? This is an old, lonely woman. She's actually, I think, only 41, but she looks like a hot grandma. And she's sitting there talking about how horrible marriage is when I don't think she's ever been married. She's been nothing but dumped and left alone, turfed. And she wants to tell you that it's fun. And not only does she want to tell you that it's fun, for her, she wants you to try it too. You should be a spinster too. You should let your ovaries dry up. You should end 250,000 years of evolution, the Black Plague, World War II, all these different wars and crusades and all this unfathomable pain and suffering. You should have taken all that and just gone, poop, snip, the end. Thanks, everyone, for getting me here. I'm ending it now. Keep going.
And then I never want to fuck him again. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah, okay, stop again, sorry. It's good to have an appetite for the kids. You should eat with your family. That means you can't eat at 3 p.m. That's mildly inconvenient. You don't constantly sit there craving Thai food and having someone, I assume with Down syndrome in her analogy, a fascist with Down syndrome, say, no, we're not allowed to have Thai food. We always get Thai food. Who is this straw man? I can't even picture him.
But then I get to go home with whomever I want.
What?
Which is usually
Women love
some
that.
serious drifter who loves Thai food.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm still horny.
Stop. Okay. I talk to single women sometimes and they go, you know any guys? And I go, look, if you want a guy, all you have to do is wear high heel shoes and be around during last call. And they go, yeah, I know. I was looking for something slightly better than that. Thank you. Women are not looking for one-night stands with drifters. Women aren't looking for one-night stands, really. Oh, yeah, I am. Screw it. Yeah, whatever I've brainwashed you to say. I'm not listening to it anymore. Women are looking for loving relationships. They're looking for someone to care for them that's going to hold them. They're not saying, gee, I wish I could just screw everyone I want, because they can. Women can screw everyone they want up until they get married, and they don't, because it's not that fun. It's kind of gross to be plugged by a million strangers. Number 3. I don't even know what this is called. Foot guys? I was walking by this Chinese medicine thing, and this culture, Asian Chinese culture, whatever, is 40,000 years old at least. All right? Canada is a few hours old. It started in the 80s, basically. And you guys still think that your toes connect to your eyeballs? And if, you have liver cancer? No problem. I'll just rub your baby toe or I'll push here on your foot. How can a civilization so old believe in such total and utter crap? Even at the Korean spas, they say, we filter the air through crystals so you get more energy and more diodes and more chrysanthemum zirconium. Have you ever heard of a placebo test? Because your entire foot theory is not true. Number 5, anyone working in recycling is working for the mob in a racket. It's a guilt tax. We get paid to pretend that recycling works. We put them in dumb little buckets. They all go in the same landfill at the end of the day. The only thing they really recycle that is cost-effective is aluminum cans. And homeless people, old Chinese ladies with a giant bamboo pole and 2 bags on either end, they seem to be handling that just fine, picking through the garbage. But these plants that they tax us to pay for are all a myth. If you are involved in the recycling industry, you are in the mafia. Finance is number 9. Sorry, rich guys, I don't believe in your job. In fact, I'm pretty sure they did a test with a dartboard and throwing random darts at stocks and bonds got the same results as you guys who spend all day doing that air conditioning thing where you talk about the market in China and how we have to divest and Trump is doing this, but the interest rates are so high, inflation's going to be bad soon. I don't fucking believe you. I don't think your job exists. I think you just you're like the monarchy. You got in with this rich guy thing, pretending that you can predict the totally unpredictable markets, and you take my money and just move it around. And it inevitably generates interest. I mean, you look at the stock market, even including the depression, it's basically been a 45-degree line up. Yeah, there's some dips, but if you look at it over the past 100 years, it's boop. So you guys are just sitting at a desk reading articles about finance. Your entire job is bullshit, and you're fucking rich from it. But nothing can hold a candle to number 10, the biggest bullshit job in the world, and that's the whole concept of diversity, multicultural equality. I don't even know what to call this job. Equality enforcer. I went to this thing that Gina Davis, I think, put on, and it was all about women in media and how women need to be 50% of action movies. And I was looking at the speakers. They had this big pamphlet, and every single job these women had, these paid speakers, was like the Center for Diversity, Awareness, and Equality in Women and Young People, and Society's Awareness for Loving and Equality and Being Cool. And I thought, Jesus, every single one of these jobs is bullshit. Every single one of these jobs is some big corporation has to have a budget by law for anti-sexual harassment, blah, 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 some made-up thing where they have to employ these people. And then these people go out and they have to find inequality. So you've monetized injustice. So, of course, when you do that, they're going to just find it lying under a rock. And what you're really doing there is you're incentivizing these little disgusting shit stirrers who get in there and they get fucking Brendan Ike fired and stuff. They get there with a little penknife and they stab you and then they twist it in. So a lot of these jobs are just useless, taking advantage of people that believe in foot science. But these jobs, these equality jobs, these fake jobs where if you don't show up for work that day, the world is actually better off. The economy is better off if you don't show up for work. So you're not a parasite. You're an infection. And I thought a great example of this is Jordan Peterson at McMaster's University had a letter. This is a guy who goes, not only am I not going to ask you for your pronouns, I don't think that's good for you. I'm spoiling you. I'm pretending that this bullshit exists. Anyway, these groups got together, these committees, and they wrote a letter. These are his colleagues, wrote a letter saying, this guy's evil. We have to stop him from his horrible inequality. Check out the names of these committees. Ready? The McMaster's Students' Union Women and Gender Equity Network Coordinator. She's the network coordinator for this stupid made-up thing. Also on the list was the McMaster's Student Union Queer Students Community Center Coordinator. Now, there's probably plenty of people working there, but this one's the coordinator. She gets all of their ducks in a row. Then, of course, we have the McMaster Students Union Diversity Services Director. Like, these kids go to these colleges, and part of their tuition is put towards diversity. No matter how, no one's proven that it's our greatest strength. It's just a thing that the money has to go to. So you're paying for this. Of course, you can't have diversity of thought. You couldn't have a right-wing speaker at this school. He'll get maced. But I'm going to take your tuition and use it to enforce this dogma. But my favorite group, and the reason I'm doing this video, is the final group listed, or maybe the first group listed on this letter, who put together this letter to thwart Jordan Peterson. And they are, of course, the PACIBC-PPCLWG, otherwise known as the President's Advisory Committee on Building an Inclusive Communities Priorities and Planning Committee, an LGBT working group. Look, we're all struggling trying to get through the day. But a bricklayer lays some bricks, and when he leaves at the end of the day, there's a wall there. You're tearing down a wall. You're tearing down the fabric of society with your bullshit fake jobs. You're an infection. And the best way to get rid of an infection is some antibiotics. And the greatest antibiotic in the world is, ironically, a fucking wall. Women, I think you'll find that when it comes to promiscuous sex, you kind of get the idea sooner than men do, and that's evolution. You see, you want to sort of stick to the caveman world because we've been cavemen for much longer than we've been these new social justice super liberals who want to crap on everything traditional. So men, you have to go to high school, you have to graduate, you don't have to go to college. College is dumb. College is $60,000 in debt for what? Mass comm? Interning is much more educational than going to school these days. So intern somewhere, figure out what you want to do with your life, and work hard at it. No one is not rich with less than 10,000 hours. No, sorry, more than 10,000 hours in one vocation. I don't care if it's running a restaurant. If you're ambitious, you bust your ass and you put in the time, you eventually will make $1 million in maybe 10 years. Now, if you hop around from vocation to vocation, maybe not. And with entrepreneurs, it's slightly different because you have to have 12 failures for every one success. So you might have 20 years where you're broke and then make 10 million. You're playing around with the numbers here. Now, once you've done that, you're going to make kids. Now, a big question that comes up too is, how do I know who to marry? This right here is all you need to do. The Curmudgeon's Guide to Getting Ahead by Charles Murray will explain to you who you need to marry. Basically, it comes down to if there's irrevocable differences with you two that are sort of intrinsic to your personality, like you're confrontational or you're always late or you don't mind a mess. If she's tidy, punctual, and scared of confrontation, that might not be the one for you. Also, here's another thing Charles Murray points out. If when you're having a fight, you do these really vindictive stabs, like you've always been insecure because you'll never be your father, or something where you know a secret about them and you use it against them, where you're really trying to genuinely hurt the person and not argue about the facts, that person might not be the one for you. Maybe it's part of atheism. People don't think it's a miracle that we're here, so they just sort of poo-poo it. No, it's a miracle that we're here, and it's all part of the bigger plan. We're supposed to, just like a business, you know, they notice what works and they keep doing that. That's what evolution is. We notice something works and we keep going with it. You work. You should breed. And I know you've been traumatized by these boomers. Thanks, boomers. You see, I'm telling you from experience because I've made these mistakes. I only made 3, and I'm 46. I'm the oldest dad in my son's class. When I go to parent-teacher interviews, I'm a geriatric. And this has only begun. When he graduates, I'm going to be 66. Hello, I'm so proud of my boy. Proud of your boy. I want you to become proud of your boy. And part of that is becoming a proud boy. Quitting masturbating is a huge part of this. But basically understanding that biology exists for a reason. So, guys, shit or get off the pot. You've had your party years. Around 30, you got to start getting serious. You got to start breeding. Grow some balls and put a ring on it. This wedding ceremony isn't just a random piece of paper. The tradition exists for a reason. It's a big fucking deal, and you won't understand it until you're on the other side. I'm telling you from the other side, it's awesome. Come aboard. And ladies, you have a due date. You have a best before date. They're called ovaries. So start getting serious around 25, because around 30, it's last call for alcohol. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
They reach the final precipice. This is the last chance to turn back. Yet over they go. casting themselves bodily out into space.
Did you see that? That was your ovaries leaving the building. Elvis has left the building. It's a pretty sad state of affairs that I have to tell young millennials to get out there and get horny, and I have to tell women to understand their value and know that they got to get a ring on it. But that's the situation we're in. So I guess all I'm saying is be normal human beings. We haven't reinvented the wheel. The system you've come up with, which is pure sabotage, is not better. Stop being a doggy mom. Stop being a video game player. Grow up and get real. I promise you won't regret it.